say what needs to be said. We all hate how injuries affect the game, but it's nothing we can do about it. Injuries are a part of the game and unfortunately here to stay. NFL sees a lot of injuries from the hip tackle, which is why the competition committee are questioning if they should ban the dangerous tackle. But what about turf grass? Why is that not always the first topic of discussion? Because natural grass is more expensive to keep up. But that's a whole other story. We're going to get into that later. We ain't going to talk about that now. But for me, it seems like the NFL doesn't care about defensive players and their health these days. To me, that's what it seems like. It don't seem like they care about the health because most of the rule changes are forced on the defensive side of the ball and not for the offense. Yeah, they got rid of the chop block. That was good for the defensive players not being able to hit them low and all that. That was good. That was good. But for defensive players, there are all type of tackles you have to deal with. Angles, uncomfortable angles, just to be able to get another football player down while running full speed at you is tough in itself. And they're implementing all these rules. And for most DBs, we are smaller than a lot of other players carrying the football, athletes carrying the football. And this puts us in a major disadvantage right there in itself. And the goal for the offense is to run past defenders. And when they run past you, you may grab them from behind, pull them backwards, which is totally normal. But I guess they want players to chase them down from behind and fall forward. That's going to be the new rule. Because how else we supposed to get an athlete down when he gets in front of you without being able to horse collar or hip tackle a player or basically use our weight? That's what they're telling us. We can't use our weight to pull them down. So what options do we have left as a defensive player in the NFL? Because the competition committee eliminated hitting defenseless receivers or players, any contact to a quarterback's head, hitting quarterbacks low, and the crackback block. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to tell you, I'm here to break the news to you. We are headed for touch football. This is about to enter the touch football league. That's what's going on. They're changing. They don't want this to be physical anymore. They don't want it to be because they find a way to continue. They find a way to continue to put defenders at a disadvantage all the time. They don't look at us and see our health and say maybe they're putting their health at risk as a defensive player. They just make the rule changes to the defensive side of the ball and say, deal with it. Because when will the offensive side of the ball be held accountable for anything? While they're running the ball, they don't have to attempt to gain the extra yardage all the time. They can just go down. That'll help a lot right there. Tell the offensive side of the ball when they're getting tackled from behind just to go down instead of fighting for the extra yard. This is what I think Tom Brady means when he says he see a lot of mediocre football these days in the NFL. He feels it's getting too soft and too passive. He came in a time when it was a very physical game and he had to deal with it. So right now to him and to all the older guys, this looks like mediocre football. I guess that's what he means in the physical aspect of it. Let me give you a little story, a little history real quick. In the 2004 AFC Championship game, Patriots versus Colts, the game plan for us on the defensive side of the ball was to get up in the offensive face and be as physical as possible. Take them out of their time and all that good stuff. We manhandled them so bad that game that the owner, Jim Irsay, cried to the league office after that game and asked them to basically change the rule or enforce the rule. However you want to look at it. Before he made this decision, defenders could put hands on receivers past 5 yards with no problem for years. It was never a problem until he went and complained. Now, after his complaints, the receivers are basically untouchable. He went and complained and made this rule be enforced. In 1978, the rule was established. Any contact or restriction past 5 yards to a receiver will be called illegal contact. But this was never enforced before 2004. And this is the reason Jim Irsay says, still crying, that they lost the AFC Championship against us because we beat them up bad and we was very physical. He didn't know the powers to be. They want the NFL to score more points. And they feel this helps the business model. And after finding out passing yardage dropped to 11-year low in 2003, they figured it was time for the competition committee to take action and make changes. But for defensive players and the NFL to continue to take away the way we tackle fits the narrative. So it's going to be part of the game, and that's just going to be something that we always are going to have to deal with. So the NFL, you get ready, because that's something we're going to always have to deal with it, and it's going to become less and less physical. So until next time, pick 6. I'm out.